Good morning, all right, guys. How you doing? This is Alan again. I got an update, status update, Facebook, social cam, and all that good stuff. I got a confirmation about a particular topic that I was thinking about doing, and I asked God for a confirmation for this one because I don't just like posting stuff just because I know the Word, I know the Bible. I wanted to impact people's lives and just to do things. But today's stories come from 1 Samuel chapter 25. And I took a note from this story with Abigail, Nabal, and David. Nabal was a evil person. He was a fool. The Bible called him an angry fool. So he was an angry fool, but his wife's name was Abigail. And they describe Abigail as a wise and beautiful woman. And David, as we all know who David is no stranger in the Bible. But here's the story about Abigail and Nabal. Nabal had sheep. He had sheep and goats. And David men end up covering for Nabal's sheep and goats and keeping him sheep and goat from being destroyed in the wilderness. All right, fast forward. You have to read the story yourself. I don't want to keep this long. But end up, David got wind that Nabal wanted to not give him anything from the sheep or the goats. So David was coming to kill Nabal. But Abigail had got wind of it. And so she went and took an offering to David. She bowed down and begged David. And she explained to him about her husband and how foolish and unwise he is. But the point I pulled from the story was that Abigail chose to cover her man in spite of everything that she knew about him. She chose to choose the route, even if I'm married to a fool, I'm going to cover him. And sometimes we need to learn how to cover each other because we don't understand that, hey, people are going to make mistakes. People are going to do things wrong. People are going to say things out of character. And what I love about Abigail, she was beautiful and she was wise. And guess what? Abigail was telling David all the great things that he was and what he was called to do. She spoke to his kingship. And guess what? After Abigail went back home, she began to tell her husband all the things she'd done later on. She didn't tell him right then that night because he was still drunk and he was still acting crazy. But the point I'm making, that Abigail began to look and use wisdom in the midst of adversity. No matter what you're going through, no matter what the situation may look, you may be married to a fool. You may be around people that are foolish. But use wisdom. Don't throw them under the bus. Use wisdom. But guess what? I love this part right here, and I'm going to have to cut it off because it's getting too long. It's good. I can go on and on with this story. This is what I love. Whether you're the male or female in this story that's using wisdom, guess what? Someone is watching you, meaning David. David could be a male or female. You may be that male or female in that story that's watching a person that's covering a fool, a person that's not using wisdom. So guess what? After Nabal had died, David came back and he married Abigail. Why? Because she used wisdom. She was beautiful, yes, but David was more appealed by her wisdom of how she handled him. Look in your spirit today and see how you're handling someone. Use wisdom, and I promise you it will be a blessing in the end. All right, I went too long. God bless.